Good morning and happy Friday to everybody out there in cyberspace. I hope you purposefully clicked the 12 News Facebook page to watch the 12 Today After Show. And it's not something your kids did, but if they did, we appreciate their viewership nonetheless. Yeah. Paul, alongside Trisha and Rachel, we're talking about silly things your kids have done. It was set up by a news story, which we're going to show you in just a minute, but we want you to get in the comment section to be a part of the show. Something weird that you did as a kid or something your kids have done. Ladies, I'm going to go ahead and set the table. You guys go ahead and tell us a story first.
You know, there's so many to count, and when you're one of 4 kids, I mean, it just never ends. When one of the kids stops doing something a little bit stupid, another one starts doing something. Okay, for example, spilling a lot of acetone, otherwise known as nail polish remover, all over our lovely brown carpet.
Oh, I'm sure Mom
turning it orange. Orange, orange, orange. We never replaced it.
Oh, what did Mom say?
Oh, Mom was not as furious as Dad. So Mom always just said, wait till your father gets home.
Ah, that's the go-to line.
Right?
Okay,
yeah.
Smart. I should, take that one on.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll, 8.5 months. So there's still some time.
I mean, yeah, you're a mother of twins. Have the girls done anything notable?
So they're really into this cell phone. I'm constantly taking pictures and videos. I try to stay off of it as much as possible, but it's really amazing how fascinated by the cell phone they are at such a young age. I mean, they just want it. They want to just kind of flip it around on their play mat, and then it's like, well, here's your toy phone, and that's not as interesting. They want the one that Mom takes pictures with. So.
They don't want the Fisher-Price one.
Right, exactly.
They want the Apple.
They've seen you using it, so
true.
They just want what you've got.
Yeah, that's so true.
If you just get off your phone every once in a while.
Exactly, I do. I leave it off and push to the side for, when I'm not taking pictures documenting their life.
When I was a kid, there was like a Bill Cosby VHS tape that like taught you numbers and letters and shapes or whatever, and he would draw them on a chalkboard with chalk. And so I watched this. I must have been 2 or 3 years old, and I went outside with a stick, and I couldn't find a canvas to write on except for the side of my mom's car.
No.
So with the stick, I scratched some of the letters and the numbers, and then I called her out there all excited, like, hey, come out and look what I did.
Look what I can do.
They weren't happy. Thankfully, just like surface scratches, I think they were able to buff out, but still, not smart.
Yeah, that's a rough go. In fact, we had a 12 Today viewer say that they tried to wash their dad's car. A nice gesture, right? But they did it with Comet or Ajax. Turned the red car pink.
No.
From the hood to the trunk.
Not good. Good morning to Cindy and Jessica and Sharon and Melanie and Dara and Gloria and Darlene and Eddie. All of you watching this morning.
Is that Grandma Darlene?
Yeah, no, not yet. Grandma's not watching yet. She might be soon, though. Tasha says she set herself on fire playing with a lighter.
Oh my gosh.
How did you manage that? Were you covered in gasoline? Why were you flammable?
So
much
dangerous.
Of that hand sanitizer. That stuff's flammable, too. In fact, our Steadicam operator, Michael, said that he lit his room on fire. Yeah.
No.
How'd that go again?
Not well.
Not well.
Not well. Let it burn.
How did you do it? You guys said you were...
We put a nail in the electrical outlet.
That's right.
You put a nail in the electrical outlet. Not a
so
smart
fun
move.
to just, pry at those outlets.
Lisa says, I got my head stuck in a metal fence at a shopping store display. It was so bad the fire department got called and the jaws of life had to be used to get her out.
Oh my gosh, those are only used in some of the worst, car accidents.
Did you ever do that as a kid, like stick your head in the fences and stuff? I did that too, as dumb as that is.
Staircase
chairs.
What we did is we'd take all the ice cubes out of the freezer and we would dump them on the trampoline. So we'd go jumping and then the ice cubes would go flying.
So, see, okay, we always got on the trampoline with like pillows and blankets. We would want to sleep out there, the 4 of us kids.
Yeah, slumber party.
Ooh. So we were all wrapped up. Well, my brother Preston, he took a nasty spill. And, we had the trampoline that no longer had the pretty blue mat.
Right.
Popped his front tooth right out.
Oh, no.
Mom and Dad come home and they're like, whose fault is it? We're all just like pointing at each other.
All of our faults.
We don't know, but a tooth is knocked out.
The reason we're having this discussion this morning is because of this story that's going viral about something a kid did that you're going to have to see to believe. Yeah. You can see it right now on our ICYMI in case you missed it from earlier this morning on 12 Today.
Parents everywhere saying, oh my gosh, I can relate to this story. Unfortunately, that's really a tough break. A Utah toddler's fascination with his parents' paper shredder proved to be pretty pricey. The 2-year-old accidentally shredded more than $1,000 they had saved to pay a family member back who actually helped them get season tickets to see their favorite college football team, the Utah Utes.
This is like the modern equivalent of the dog ate the homework.
Sure.
The boy's parents say they let him help shred the junk mail they get. So when he saw an envelope, he got a little too eager.
I'm out digging through the trash, and she hollers and says, I found it. She's holding this shredder, and she says, I think the money is in here. We started laughing. We were just baffled that this could happen. And
I
just
cried for a minute. You can't say we just
a
laughed.
few tears and then a bunch of laughs.
You have to laugh, right?
Right? I mean, you taught him how to do that.
Or get out the tape, I guess.
Sure.
Luckily, that couple will get it all back through a government department dedicated to mutilated money. They have to mail those pieces to Washington, D.C., and then a group will piece it all back together. The bad part is it could take a year for them to get their refund.
Oh my gosh. Well, at least that's a little light at the end of the tunnel. Parents, we want to know, can you relate? What's the worst thing your child or children have done? I like that. Children thrown in there. Text Team 12 602 444 1212. Okay, Molly's weighing in now, and she said they used to go to Pancho's Mexican buffet and fill the sugar containers with salt.
Oh, that's just mean.
That is mean.
What is that? It's horrible.
Oh my
Pour a little
gosh.
sugar on your chimichanga.
Oh my goodness.
A lot of you guys are pyros. Rosie playing with fire. Jose set a fence on fire playing with fireworks. Joseph almost set the house on fire. Luckily, Mom was at home. You guys, fires can be dangerous.
I know, pyros. Oh.
Well, and so this one that I wasn't going to share, we used, we had a fireplace and we'd have fires in the winter when it finally got cold enough, which it doesn't really do here.
No.
And we thought, how cool is this? If you spray hairspray on a flame, it gets big. And kids, they love that apparently, so we weren't alone. But that blew up in the fireplace one night. Grounded.
Oh.
Major groundings. Don't touch the fireplace.
Did
yada,
anyone
yada,
get
yada.
their eyebrows singed?
No, we were good. We didn't, no injuries, thank goodness.
Oh, good.
Fire is just a whole nother entity. Like I could just sit here and tell fire stories all
telling
day.
you.
I know.
I can tell you dumb
Lighting
things my
candles.
mom did with fire. Like forget about the kids.
Well, I'm waiting for Darlene to call her out.
well,
on
what
Facebook
What about
here.
lighting
Grandma's
like
up yet.
50 candles and in a bookshelf?
We weren't allowed to light candles.
What are you lighting 50 candles for? You having a seance? You're trying to bring the spawn of Satan into your room? What are you doing?
I just loved candles.
Okay, and so we did have another viewer who said she ate a candle when she was
She loved candles in a completely different way.
She did. She said it was vanilla, so you can't blame her. I used to eat the magnets, the candied magnets with like the scoop.
What is wrong with you?
You know what? How did we make it this far? Okay.
Bud hopped into the comment section to say, I and a few friends stole a candy bar from a candy store when I was 9. I was the only one that got caught by the store owner. Thanks for your honesty, Bud. I appreciate
That
it.
is honest.
Jamie says, I spray painted I love Ian on a brick wall while walking home from school in the 5th grade. Jamie, that's funny only if you didn't really love Ian. What's wrong with Ian? Why are we not loving him?
Yeah. I loved an Ian in elementary school.
Did you? Congrats.
Not as much as Blair, but.
Cece wants to know, Rachel, how you got a hold of spray paint?
Oh, it wasn't spray paint.
Oh, it was hairspray, right?
Oh, well, Aquanet. My mom, her hair, just massive. Texas style hair. So there was hairspray in the house all the time. And that was back in the day when adults used the aerosol deodorant. So if there wasn't hairspray, you could use that.
Phyllis says I put glitter in a washing machine at a laundromat. Go ahead, what were you saying?
No.
That's no good.
I was just saying she had backup if the hairspray was gone.
Yeah, use a little of that antiperspirant.
We had a viewer text in this morning. Who was it? Someone took their car for a joyride. It was Ashley. She was 4 years old and took Mom's car for a joyride.
Young.
Crashed into the neighbor's car.
I don't even know how to turn the car on.
She wasn't the only one that did that, though. Isabel says, I took my sister's car for a joyride in high school. Now, granted, high school a little older, but still.
Or high school. Yeah.
This is great.
Oh,
Second
wow.
grade
Totally
attempted to
different.
walk home from school 12 miles because I didn't want to wait another hour for my sister to get out of school. Police found me halfway. 3 hours later, Sandy Matthews weighing in, walking home from school by herself.
Paul says, all I can say is I'm glad there were no cell phone cameras or Facebook back when he was in school. Joseph found pills on the street at about the age of 5 and swallowed it thinking it was candy.
Oh.
Joseph, how did that work out for you? Just curious.
I don't know if I want to know the end of that story.
Tina Rankin says she put koi fish in her neighbor's pool.
Oh, that's mean for the fish.
Unless it's a saltwater pool.
Yeah, that's fair.
Probably.
All these things we did, and now we have all these stories. To
Okay, shout out real quick to Erin Stevenson. So Erin texted this to us during the show, but we didn't read her comment because we didn't have enough time. But she's hopping in the Facebook page because she's a loyal 12 News viewer. Shout out, we love you.
Yes.
She imitated the Saran Wrap commercial. If you're not familiar with Saran Wrap, it's like the covering, the plastic wrap you put over food and stuff. She imitated a commercial in which someone poured over a bowl of beans
look at
to
how
show that it didn't
Okay.
spill.
Yeah.
Except she didn't do it right, and it spilled everywhere.
Oh,
And it's like, hey, Mom, look at this.
And then she's scorched.
Sorry.
I thought that story was going to take a way different turn. You know, people put the saran wrap over the toilet seat.
Oh, we did that one time.
No,
yeah.
you didn't.
I did do that. Yeah, we got one of my dad's friends with it. Yeah.
That's from the same cloth.
If you sit down when you pee, it's never going to catch you. But
What was
Just
the
saying.
reaction? Did you hear the reaction?
yeah, he was flummoxed, I think is the right word. Very confused as to why he was getting splashed. Keep your funny childhood stories
Gross.
coming. We're going to move along with the show with some fresh squeezed juice.
We sure are. A new shortcut for the iPhone lets you automatically record the police. All you have to say is, Siri, I'm getting pulled over. First, you have to download an app called Shortcuts, then install a feature within the app called Police. Once it's initiated, your phone will stop what it's doing, turn down the brightness, switch on the Do Not Disturb mode feature, and it will start recording your interaction with the police officer. It also sends a text to a predetermined contact letting them know that you've been pulled over too. Now, this is an interesting story and feature for the iPhone because we were talking earlier about police imposters and how do you tell? NBC's Jeff
Right.
Rossen did an entire story on this, and
Fascinating.
and a lot of people fell for him as a police officer and gave them their ID, which at any case you could be robbed and have your
Right.
purse stolen if you're fishing around for your identification for it. So, I mean, how do you tell?
Right.
kinda
And I think
crazy.
just the intimidation factor, right?
Sure.
The guy comes up in uniform, acting the part, and then, you know, if you don't know the facts.
They said some things to look for, obviously, besides the badge, is the badge number. That's
Right.
really important because it's the separate identity for each and every police officer,
Exactly.
regardless of their department. So that's a key thing to look for, their name tag. You can ask them.
Yep.
Any real police officer will answer that question. They may not be too happy about it, but you don't have to just, open up your purse just because someone in a
Right.
uniform says to. They can
And
be
you
caught
made a
on
good
camera.
point earlier to call a non-emergency number. If you're getting pulled over by an unmarked vehicle and
Sure.
it's whatever time, we wake up at all
Middle of
hours
the
of the
night.
night to come in for the early morning shift. So you're getting pulled over and it's an unmarked vehicle.
Yeah.
What if it's an imposter?
And if it's a real police officer, they'll understand that you're using secondary and precaution to
Right. Safety
protect
first.
yourself.
I mean,
yeah, of course.
in some ways, this is a defense mechanism for us because police more and more are using body cam footage. More and more departments are being fitted with these. So they're recording their interactions with you. But when that body cam footage gets released, a lot of it is edited out. Or if there's an instance where the body cam footage isn't on,
Right.
it's really your word against theirs. And especially in the case of an impersonator, or even in the case of a real interaction where it's a he said, she shed.
She shed.
that
We'll talk more about
State
that.
Farm commercial stuck
But
in my head.
seriously.
But
Yeah,
it allows
it's
you
true.
a means to defend yourself by recording your interactions. And if everything's above board, we have nothing to worry about.
Correct.
Right.
So, yeah, it only gets you into hot water if one of you is lying, and in that case, then
Right.
it goes and progresses from there. So.
And the agency releasing the body cam video redacts whatever they want. So then we're basically just going on, well, here's what we do know. What did the video not show?
A couple more funny kid stories to get to. Maria says at the age of 13, she borrowed dad's truck and got stuck on a hill behind the A Mountain.
Mountain.
Yeah, it's a little steep up there.
You're trying to paint it, hopefully.
Poor thing.
ASU pride.
Just wanted a little adventure.
Tino says, my late brother and I burnt down a car when we found a cigarette and tried smoking.
What?
I took a puff out of my grandpa's pipe one time because who did it? The Little Mermaid, Ariel herself.
Oh, yeah, she did have a
the
pipe. You're
snarf
right.
bladder.
Yeah. How did that go for you?
It did not go well. Same
old
thing as the
were
movies.
you?
Young, super young. So my grandparents were in their old house over there on Osborne. I mean, it was embarrassing to say the least. And I got in trouble. You know what? Discipline is good for the
Grounded.
kids. Grounded.
Jamie says, can we start a thread where we talk about what our siblings did to us as kids? Because we have lots of those stories. I did something so mean to my youngest brother once. So there's a pretty marked age difference between myself and my youngest brother, who is about to turn 17 next month. When he was little, I used to have to babysit him a lot whenever mom and dad were gone. And he had a foul mouth, like as a little kid, 2, 3 years old.
A sailor.
F this,
Where did he
F
learn
that.
it?
Well, from mom and dad, obviously. And he would just not stop swearing, and you can't reinforce that behavior, like, because it's funny at first when a 2-year-old says the F word, and then it stops being funny because it's inappropriate,
And
right?
then, that gets into the principal's office.
Yeah, so I was trying to do my own means of discipline and get him to stop cursing, and I couldn't get him to stop, and he was laughing at me. He was
how did you go
rebuking
about
my
this?
authority. Well, I grabbed a bar of soap, and I got him on the tongue a couple times. So I warned him. I gave him like 6 warnings. I said, Jonathan, I'm going to wash your mouth out with soap if you don't stop. And he wouldn't stop, and so I washed his mouth out with soap. If you've never had your mouth washed out with soap before, sometimes they make you throw up.
Dawn doesn't taste like chicken. It's pretty gross.
John puked his guts out immediately, and it was like bubbly and soapy, and he was crying and throwing up all over.
Were you still holding him down at this point?
No, I felt awful about it, obviously, because I didn't mean to make him throw up and cry. So guess who had to clean it up and then apologize profusely?
But did he scale back the language?
You're darn right he did.
You're darn
tootin'.
It worked.
Stop
High five
swearing.
for that.
Yeah,
It worked.
He learned his lesson, and now his breath is better because of it.
So speaking of funny soap in the mouth stories, my oldest brother, Brooks, who's 6 years older than me, he was mouthing off to my mom, and he is 6'4". So my mom was trying to wash his mouth out with soap.
Couldn't reach.
But she couldn't reach it. And boy, that boy has an attitude. He grabbed that bar of soap from her and he bit it and started just chomping it with his braces and spit it out. Oh, yeah.
Brooks, why did you do that, Brooks?
Crude move.
We're calling out Brooks this
He's
morning.
far more mature now that he has two toddlers of his own.
Okay, so now you better watch out.
Yeah, and Sawyer's tested his mouth once or twice in
Oh,
preschool.
my goodness.
But he uses it in the right context, which makes it kind of funny. How does he know how to use that?
Anton
What goes
says
around comes around.
He used mom's red hair shampoo once and turned his light blonde hair pink. I didn't know it had dye in it. Do women's shampoos have dyes in them?
I mean, not then, I don't think, but I suppose so.
Yeah,
Violet shampoo.
Oh, yeah.
Keep that blonde yellow, just like I like it.
Jeez. Angela says when she was 7, I tried to make my own shampoo with bleach and ammonia. It foamed up. I figured I did a good job, put it in my hair. Well, it burned my scalp. I lost my hair and had to walk around with big patches of hair
Bad news bears.
missing.
Bad news bears.
Instant karma.
You know, I've realized the older I get, the more I understand how smart my parents are and how they really were trying to, you know, teach you the good lessons and right from wrong. And when you rebelled, boy, you got it tenfold in consequences and physical punishment.
All right, we got to wrap up the show coming up here real quick. Can we get an extra shot, something we can look forward to a little later on 12 today?
Sure.
Yes.
12 News. Your home for Decision 2018 coverage. As we look ahead to November, we're already here in October, the general election coming up, and Monday only on 12 Today. Democratic Senate nominee Kyrsten Sinema joins us live in studio answering some of your questions. You can send us those questions by texting Team 12 602-444-1212. That's Monday only on 12 Today.
Just a little inside baseball here. You can text those messages now, but the chances that they get received and written down and submitted by Monday are probably not good. So if you're going to be up and watching the Kyrsten Sinema interview, text us on Monday morning with your questions, and we'll get to them then and make sure the best ones get right to her. We appreciate your feedback in this show and in our news product. And thank you all of you people who shared your embarrassing childhood stories.
I know, that was fun. Worth a laugh.
One of the best ones we got texted today, and I was saving this for last because I think it's just this good. Andrea turned off her fridge, or her daughter did when she was 3 years old, because, and she had a good reason for this, Mom worked so hard that her daughter wanted her to come home to the food being warmer and closer to dinner time so that Mom wouldn't have to cook and work so hard.
Oh.
Spoiled about $300 worth of groceries.
Yeah.
They mean well.
Andrea,
She was just trying to help.
go check to see if your fridge is plugged in if you got little ones at home.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching the 12 Today After Show. We'll do this
have a
again
great
Monday morning, 7:30 a.m. right here on the 12 News Facebook page. Have a great weekend. Be good, people.